what are your, for example, what are your current role? You know, because the aspect being a president is too large
Right,
for a
yeah.
common man. It's too broad.
Yeah.
What are your current role that a Cameroonian in Bahrain will want to run up to you that knows that my president is going to do for me as the president of Cambah? Your role or your purpose, what you can do for Cameroonians. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time and this is the day we've been waiting for. I remain your host, Ben Ice, #1 content creator in Bahrain. And I'm very happy that finally we are here Thursday 7th, and I'm here with these personalities which I want to appreciate, gentlemen, for, you know, taking out your busy time out here to try to be with me here. And that tells me how much you value my audience and the information you're going to be passing by. To start with, I would like the gentleman. I love your suit. I like the decoration. It's awesome. So I would like you to introduce yourself. Yes, please, so we can get to know who we have here.
All right. Ben Ice, thank you first of all for having us on your platform.
A pleasure.
My name is Ade Norbert. I am the president of Cameroonians in Bahrain. I am a professional health and safety officer, and I'm also a teacher by profession.
All right. Now that's what we call a profile. You understand? He is the president of Cameroonian Association in Bahrain, and that reminds me. Yesterday I was having a podcast session, or 2 days ago, with your predecessor, Mr. Mosaka. So, guys, I am just moving around with dignitaries here. All right, nice to have you on my podcast, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
May I meet you, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Ben Ice. You know, it's always a pleasure to answer to your calls when you call.
Thank you.
And for Mr. Norbert, I didn't know you are a teacher, man.
I'm just
That's great.
I'm just flabbergasted that
economics
wow.
teacher.
That's great.
Oh, economics.
That's
Oh,
great.
man.
Okay, Mr. Ben Ice and your lovely audiences. My name is Stalin Kanzito.
All right.
I'm a Cameroonian in Bahrain. I've been in Bahrain for the past almost 4 years now.
Wow.
I'm into sales, like a sales consultant, and in a nutshell, that's why I'm a sales consultant in Bahrain. Yeah.
All right.
And a business coach, if you may.
That's
say
what
so.
I was waiting for, because you have to do a lot of coaching today. All right.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you again.
The
Nice
pleasure
to meet
is
you.
mine.
Thanks
The
for
pleasure
honoring
is
my
mine.
invitation.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be welcoming your contribution as well as your questions to whatever topic we're raising. And remember, if you're watching here as an African, this is the president of Cameroonians in Bahrain, and therefore he is very knowledgeable and grounded to provide some of those answers to the worries of Africans in Bahrain. So this is a platform for you to bring up those questions and those doubts. If you are a Cameroonian watching right now, here is your president. I have squeezed him to be here, so I expect the reaction to come from you guys. And we have our business coach with me. I think after today I'm going to set up a business because I'll be coached for free.
Hopefully.
All right. Okay. So to start with, Mr. Norbert, I understand that you just took office from Mr. Mosaka, and I was there during that occasion. I want to know, what are your plans for Cambah and, let's say, Cameroonians in general in Bahrain as their president?
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to first of all appreciate my predecessor, who is Mosaka Manfred. I think he did an incredible job by holding Cambah for like 5 years.
That's right.
So I'm taking over from where he ended, and there are a lot of plans in the pipeline. First, we are looking forward to rebranding Cambah.
Oh, rebranding.
Yeah, as to be a governing body. I will explain why it is going to be that way.
Okay.
We've had, in the past years, we've had cultural groups which have come up within Bahrain. And for us to have a proper coordination, we discovered that most of the objectives of these cultural groups align with that of Cambah.
Okay.
So now, to get Cameroonians committed to the cultural groups and at the same time to Cambah as an organization was a little bit difficult, given the commitment on both sides.
Okay.
So we are looking forward to structure Cameroonians through the cultural groups. You know, Cameroon is a cultural, we come from a cultural rich background with different tribes coming together.
Yeah.
So we are looking forward now to making sure that the existence of this group comes under the umbrella of Cambah, where we can coordinate and work, and our objectives will shift from what it is now.
Okay.
Because there are things that Cambah, the cultural group will start to benefit from Cambah, which the cultural groups as an entity will not benefit.
Okay.
So we are looking forward to making sure we shift that direction and get an inclusive environment where we have everybody comes together. So that's what we have. And then secondly, we are looking forward with the help also, I will not fail to mention the former president. He is also working at the background to make sure we secure funds.
That's amazing. So he's still very active, working with you, giving him some supports there.
Yeah, as of now, he remains an advisor to me and to the executive.
That's a nice government then. Yeah. That's a nice government. All right.
So we look forward, networking, trying to secure funds, because if you don't mind, we may get to that. We are finding it difficult to really function as a body, because for any organization to run and function properly, we need finances.
Okay.
So and we need a venue.
For sure, and we need a venue, like you said. Yeah.
So we are working in that direction to restructure Cambah, and then coming to the needs of Cameroonians in Bahrain. We want to step up in that direction, and for that, I have come out with a plan where we shall create commissions.
Okay.
For example, we have a commission in charge of documentation now, passport, pass, or any related documents that may come from administrative level.
All right.
That this commission will be charged of those documents, and then we also have a commission in charge of cases. You know, here in the Middle East or in the Gulf, we've always had issues with employers.
Yep. A lot of times.
And we have Cameroonians who get into trouble. So there's also a commission that has been created that we follow up on that dimension. Okay. So this, among many, we are trying to implement and to follow up and make sure we expand Cambah to be a place where it's welcoming and inclusive for everybody.
Wow, Mr. President, those plans of yours are actually very good, and I think that's why Cameroonians have trusted you to be at the helm of that leadership. All right. Before we go forward, Mr. Stalin, I will, want to find out about your, your coaching diversity. When we talk about business coach, what does that mean? When we talk about a business coach, what does it mean in the first place?
When you talk of business coach, from the word coach, it's like someone who is giving advice to someone who wants to venture into business. And venturing into business, people think it's easy, but if business people tell you what they go through, you
definitely need a business coach like you.
Definitely need a business coach before venturing into the business. At the end of the day, business, you can say it's headache. It's headache if you don't understand the ins and the outs of what you want to venture into.
All right.
So when you talk of somebody being a business coach, is that person who is bringing a plus to someone who wants to venture into business, trying to clear the doubt, because going into business, first of all, what do you need to know? You need to master which type of business you want to venture into. If you are going into services, you need to know what type of services you want to provide. Don't just hear that people are doing business and you want to do business. You need to know what are your services, what are your plans, what are your goals. Like, you need to set goals for yourself before venturing. There are many other aspects you need to get acquainted to before you venture into business. We cannot clear all of them now, but Generally, in the nutshell, that's
All right. Yeah. Okay. So guys, that is it. That's why we need a business coach. I always find it an opportunity when I have guests like you people here. I want to make sure my audience are better much informed also, so they can interact with you in real time.
Definitely.
So guys, I want to reiterate again that we have the president of Cameroonian Association, who also is a senior health and safety officer and also an economics teacher. And right
Very
by
good
my
to
left,
mention.
I have Mr. Stalin, who is a business coach and a sales expert. So you might be facing difficulties in your sales department.
Exactly.
Man, if you are watching on Facebook right now, drop a comment. He will come back to reply your comment. If you're right now watching on Facebook, or rather you're gonna watch later or probably watching now on YouTube, drop that comment. He will reply to it. That is one thing I've taken note of. You I mean, lately you have been so consistent in the content that we have there, and I do appreciate, gentlemen. All right, so moving forward, Mr. President, I would like to know, for example, what are your current role? You know, because the aspect being a president is too large
Right,
for a
yeah.
common man. It's too broad.
Yeah.
What are your current role that a Cameroonian in Bahrain will want to run up to you, that knows that my president is going to do for me as the president of Cambah? Your role or your purpose, what you can do for Cameroonians. We are out here and you guys are like the umbrella,
Yeah.
but we should know what you can do, and we should know where the limit is,
Yeah.
or where you can provide help.
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to say that for you to, first of all, identify yourself, you must come forward and identify by registering with Cambah.
Okay.
So that you at least you can show that you're a Cameroonian.
Okay.
I will give you this example. For example, like home, if you don't have an ID card,
Yeah.
definitely you get into trouble. You will not be able to be identified.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes.
to start with that,
not only home, even here.
Even here in
Yeah,
Bahrain,
yeah,
yeah, you will not be identified. That's
so
right. Yeah.
I want to encourage people to start by identifying themselves. And then to get to your question,
All right.
I think being in that position means that we have knowledge
Okay.
of how the environment operates.
All right. I like that knowledge of how the environment operates.
Yeah.
All right.
In case you find yourself in any difficulties, like visa, you're having some difficulty how to find yourself around, know that we have members in Cambah, especially in the executive,
All
who
right.
have spent 8 years plus in this country, that will be able to offer you that help. Be it issues with the visa, because I want to also say that the visa process is a little bit complicated because you have to go through agents. Beside the direct employment,
Yeah.
most of the visas we have, we come through
Agents.
Agents. Okay.
and these sometimes often leads to some issues. We can always step in to resolve those issues. Monetary issues that members come interact and encounter in the course of their stay, you definitely get those issues resolved amicably,
Yeah.
without necessarily getting the forces of law and order
Okay,
involved.
okay.
So in a nutshell, what we are just trying to say is we look after the common good of the Cameroonians, how to put you across. Sometimes also opportunity comes up,
Yeah.
we share
Share them.
we share them.
Opportunities like jobs,
Jobs,
Okay.
you know,
Trainings.
trainings, and all that, empowerment, and all those things.
and
Okay.
is that what you can do? Because there are a lot of people who come in from Cameroon or from other African countries.
Yeah.
They don't know how to switch.
Yeah.
For example, you maybe in the course of this podcast, I'm going to explain
Yes,
that.
yes.
Coming out also here as a teacher, I had to switch.
Switch roles.
So people find themselves in an environment, you need to identify yourself, interact,
Yeah.
come forward, and we could advise you on the possible opportunities that are there,
Available
that you
for
can
you.
receive some training and get something and try to help your families back home.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
So Cambah
amazing.
is open broadly to to put people through and solve some of your difficulties if we can. In some cases, you could come in to subsidize just because we know somebody who is in Cambah,
Yeah.
as compared to if you just come as a neutral person.
Neutral.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing, from what I gather, you're saying is that Cambah is out there to help with maybe legal issues, empowering Cameroonians and Africans generally, and also Cambah is most also focused on the registered members. So guys, which is why I want to encourage everyone. Cambah is a body. It's a body. Earlier on, the president said that Cambah needs some venue or finances to help the same Cameroonians should need arise. So your registration is also pertinent to Cambah. I mean, it's just 2 BD if I can remember.
Yeah, 2 BD
for the whole year, for 12
year.
months.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why a Cameroonian will be out there watching me right now and you're not registered to Cambah. For real, I feel like other nationals will even want to join this kind of movement.
Yeah, if you give them the opportunity.
That's good. So the president talked about helping out. Okay, let's take a scenario. Let's say that because we've been in the Gulf country and we know the challenges that people face. Let's talk about our sisters working at home. If a lady is working with an employer that doesn't provide probably off days, and the employer probably overused the lady, you don't have off days, you work for more than 12 hours, and the lady happened to get to Cambah, or the lady is watching now, the lady cannot get to Cambah, what can the lady do to get to Cambah, and how can Cambah be of help?
All right. First of all, I want to say that Bahrain is a country of laws, and for you to put up a case against somebody, there should be evidence.
Yeah.
So what I always encourage is for anybody working somewhere with some violations,
Yeah.
try as much as possible to have evidence.
Evidence.
Yes.
All right.
Because whether we like it or not, once you get it to the court and produce that evidence, there will be some sort of justice.
That's right.
Yeah. So earlier on, I mentioned of a case management committee which I have set up.
Okay.
There is a hotline for that. So again, I'm trying to encourage Cameroonians to identify, because this information is out there, but surprisingly, I don't know how many people have that contact, but there is a contact that in case you have any difficulties, you can reach that contact.
Okay.
Once you reach that contact, the leader in charge of that committee will definitely advise you on what exactly to do, what evidence to submit, and what he would do, because actually this committee also are sacrificing themselves to shuttle between LMIA and some of the legal advice they get, and definitely they will tell them exactly what to do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Before now, did we have a committee like that existing?
No, this is the first time we are having that committee.
I must give you a handshake there. That's really an innovation. That's a great one, Mr. President.
And then again, just to highlight, this commission came about by affiliation to Syndicat Bahrain. I think you and the former president spoke about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
So him and Mr. Philip, who have been working closely with that organization for years, they finally affiliated, and it's through that association or through that organization that we were able to come out with this commission, because they will have to function and go through this organization because there are other legal procedures in place available for us to gain this help through them.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing, because I want to believe in when there is a committee for a particular purpose or commission for a particular purpose, these guys have these tasks, so they will work hand in hand to try to deliver, to try to put pride on the faces of Cameroonians. That's a good one. So what the president is saying is you must have evidence. That's it. So you don't just call the president. It's important to call, but there should be evidences that you are going to use to liberate or plead the case of that Cameroonian. Is that right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So moving forward, I want Mr. Stanley, I want to come back to you. Yeah, because I have told myself that at the end of today I should be able to open up a business. Yes, so I need you to coach me very well on that. Yeah. All right. So as a business coach, what line of business can an expert set up in Bahrain? Or in the Middle East, because we have audiences watching around the globe, but let's look at the Middle East where you are, where you know how the terrain functions. What kind of business? Bahrain is our case study. Can an expert set up here?
If you look around Bahrain, you will see thousands of companies. Thousands of companies, and these companies are all owned by experts.
Wow.
So if I was to advise an expert who wants to venture into business and he wants to set up a business in Bahrain, or in the Middle East, I will not tell him like a specific business, like going to clothing, going to this or going to that. I will try to advise him to because every business you do is lucrative depending on your goals and if you're able to put the right tactics in place. So if I advise someone which type of business he has to go to, I'll be advising him to try to understand which type of business he loves.
Okay.
And which business,
so you should go for a business where you have passion.
which you have passion.
All right.
Not only passion and training.
And training.
Yes.
All right. So you should have some information how it works. You should
About it. Yeah.
All right.
You should not just consider that, for example,
There is interest in this business. I'm just gonna venture in
directly
it.
jump into
Okay.
it. You
All
need to
right.
understand the ins and the outs of the business.
Okay.
First thing. Second thing, you need to understand to set any business, you need capital. And how do you get this capital? It's either capital from your personal savings or borrowing, which you have to do beside the banks.
Okay.
So what I will tell you as an expert in Bahrain, you know, when you're coming to Bahrain, you're first coming as somebody who will be earning a salary.
Okay.
So you need to have that vision of, I will earn a salary for a certain time and I will venture into business. And while you're earning a salary, you should create relationships.
Okay.
Because as you know, in most of Middle East countries, for you to set up a business, you need a partner.
That's
and
right.
the partner must be a national.
The local, yeah. Okay.
So while working and you intend to set a business, you already need to be creating your relations.
Okay.
Because those relations will help you in future.
Okay.
Maybe to raise capital or to recruit the right personnel.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that.
All right. I still have another question for you.
Sure.
All right. Let's take it for an instant that someone is already stable back home and feels like he wants to invest in this ground. He wants to come to Bahrain and invest.
Okay.
What are the steps that this person needs to take to consideration? Are there particular visa that he needs to come to Bahrain with, or are there processes that he can do before coming to Bahrain, or he has to come like a visitor, then get himself an investment process? I don't know how you will call it, but I want to know. I'm back home. I have some money. I want to invest in Bahrain. What are the steps that I might have to do?
If you're back home, you're coming to Bahrain
to invest.
Yeah, you need to study the market definitely. You want to come to invest in which sector?
Yeah, probably.
Is it all the sector?
Probably manpower, or probably cleaning, or probably pest control, because I think those are the services that are mostly needed out here. Yeah,
exactly. You need to make your research about which sector you're coming to invest in.
Okay.
You need to make sure you contact the right authorities.
All right.
And you need to make sure you're coming with the right visa. I think there was a visa recently launched that is like, I think how they call it.
Is it the investment
visa or something like
visa.
that? Yeah.
All right.
You need to have a grasp.
So you
of
can
all
get
those
the investor visa while you are out of Bahrain to come to Bahrain.
No, if I may come in here,
yes, please.
Definitely, what you do, you can get what we have, like the work visa and come in, or the visit visa and come in.
Okay.
But then there's one thing which I would like to say, which we sometimes we don't do, is we don't do research.
Yeah.
That's why I started by mentioning the research.
Which is very important. That's true.
You have to get to the website of the commerce of Bahrain, and then you see the requirements.
Yes.
What is needed. I know sometimes from where we are coming from, sometimes it's difficult. That's why I say you have to get maybe a visit visa and probably maybe a work visa, and find yourself in the environment, because some of these partners you will contact, you will need to have one-on-one with them.
Discussion with them.
Discussion with them.
Yeah.
And then from there now you have your investor visa, and then you venture into
unless you're coming with a huge capital to pump in. For example, if we can take a celebrity, for example, like Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah.
We know he have a heavy capital
there,
he will carry along. So him coming to invest in Bahrain is not the same like someone like a normal person coming to invest in Bahrain.
I get it. Yeah. All right, guys. So before now, we were talking on what the modalities you need to know if you are coming to Bahrain to invest. First, we've been educated by our guests that you need to do a research, like what works for Bahrain, or what what works in your country might not necessarily
Definitely
work
work for
here.
you here.
I mean, if maybe let's take an example, plastic paper or disposable are good business in your country, you must need to search what is actually working
Happening here.
Yeah, and the capital you have in your hand. So that means you have got to do research, because a country like Bahrain, they have the data all there out there for the different businesses, the input and output. One thing I noticed about Bahrain is, like, at the end of the year or in between the year, you know, these companies comes and tell you how much they have made and all the like. So you can really tell.
Yes, you have to declare. They call it a declaration of how they call it. You have to declare your returns.
Yeah, returns. Is that a must from the government?
It's
because
a
the way
must.
they do it, I don't understand.
I wouldn't say it's a must, but to an extent it might be a must, because they want to trace how the inflow and the outflow of money.
Okay.
Are you making legal? The business you are making, is it legal? If it's legal, you need to declare how much you are earning.
And sometimes also declaring is good business for some organization.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good reputation.
Definitely.
Okay, Mr. President, first, you know, there is this saying that if people are not informed, they are deformed. And most of the times they need to be informed by the right persons like you and myself. So I want to ask a question. You being the president of Cambah, how can Cameroonians get to you? How can they get to you?
All right. I would say I'm very much available. There is a WhatsApp group for all Cameroonians here in Bahrain, be it registered or unregistered members. And we also have the forum for registered members, where we have to really track those who are members. Because sometimes if you want to come up with an event, it's difficult to look at the general forum and plan on that. We have to focus on the registered members and plan as per that. So I am available in the general forum, and definitely anybody can reach out to me anytime, any day. We're ready to respond. All right, that's amazing. So you can reach out to him anytime, any day. But for some purposes where a lady is stuck, and maybe, you know, you don't just touch into a WhatsApp group, you need to be added. If there is an emergency, do you have a line that someone can contact you directly through that line? Or probably an 8, your 8, is there an 8 that you can give the number of the person that, because we know how things happen around here randomly. There might be a situation.
The twinkle of an eye.
Yes, how would the person get to you?
Yeah, this is what first of all I would like to encourage, is that people should be able to identify the executive members, right, and have this contact. And in case there is an emergency, probably is related to some sort of crime, or as I said earlier, there is a commission and there is a number out there public. There was a communique sent out, probably maybe that communique will be sent out again, and there is a number there that if there's any issue, being in problem or not in problem, you reach that number. And if it's a problem where I will need to be informed, definitely they will get to me.
All right, going ahead with Mr. Stanley, I want to shift back to you with a very sharp question. You know, so first, what are the modalities, you know, to come up with a successful business, probably a successful business plan and strategies? What are the modalities that I need to come up with to have a successful business plan, or the strategies?
It will just be in a continuation of what I started talking in the beginning. To come up with a successful business plan, it means already you have decided you are venturing into business. And you need to draft a plan about your business. So you drafting a plan, you need to understand your business. You need to understand your business. You need to understand what it takes, the input you're going to, like the assets or what you're bringing into the business, the cash you're pumping into the business. You need to understand, will you be able to cope with the cash, or after you will easily fall bankrupt or not? After that, you need to understand how can I put it?
Is it the business environment?
The business environment also, it's inclusive. You need to understand which type of business you want to set up. Is it a business that is lucrative, or you are just like, you need to watch around what people are doing?
Let me step in here regarding this business plan. For example, I have passion for something. I am not really into that field, but I think getting there and getting the right people, I will succeed.
Okay.
So, can I independently meet a business planner, sell my ideas, and then sit back for him or
To make
her
a
to
plan.
develop a plan and present to me?
Yeah, definitely. That's why you have like people, they call them consultants in business.
Okay.
Like you have an idea, but you don't know how to go about it.
Okay.
You meet these people, they will give you a roadmap. Like they will draft a detailed plan, asking you all the questions. You provide all the questions, where you will get the fundings, the type of services you want to sell. Like at the end of the day, they will be able to tell you, will that business be, because it's after a business plan. When you have drafted off a business plan, there
That
is
you
a,
can- yeah.
there is a stage, you like the implementation stage.
Okay.
They will be able to determine to you, based on the information they have gathered around, if the business will be lucrative or not. So actually there are agencies for that, specialized in drafting up business plans.
All right, good. Before we move out from here, so let's say I already have a business running
Okay.
and I'm facing challenges.
Okay.
How do I get to expose my business to customers, or how do I get customers?
Okay, how you get customers?
Yes.
This is a very brilliant question.
Thank
How you get customers and how you keep customers.
Good.
It's very important in business.
Yes.
First of all, the manner of approach. The front desk of your business is very important. The people your customers are getting directly in touch with
Okay,
them. You
okay.
have to capitalize on that very much.
Okay.
Each client that is coming to you, you need to make sure that client is having what we call in quote a unique experience. Like when I come to you, the way
Yeah.
you treat me, it should be unique. When I'm going, I should be smiling.
Wow.
Secondly, it's not just about selling a product or a service. You need to make sure you get feedback. Was the client satisfied with what you sold?
Okay.
The service you delivered, was the
So
client
from the
satisfied?
feedback, you can do some adjustment.
Exactly.
All right.
You need
all
to
right.
call and ask.
Yeah.
For example, if a client is coming to you to get, how can I put it? For example, me, we are into interior decoration.
All right.
We do into lighting and all this stuff. When a client comes to us, all what we will ask for him for his interior decoration is like a cartography.
Okay.
Like he need this here, he need this here, he need this here. Then we will, at the end of the day, draft I can say a plan.
Okay.
This will be here, this will be here, this light is better here, this light is not better here. Then when you have installed the light, maybe after 1 week, after 2 weeks, you need to get to him. Are you okay? Are you satisfied? Did we meet your expectation? If he tries to tell you no, you install here, based on that, you will adjust.
Do
and-
adjustment,
Yeah.
probably for the next customers that are also coming, or
Exactly.
trying to make the service better for the same customer.
Exactly.
All right. I mean, I think I have learned from this explanation. I then see why, even when you go with STC here, and I mean, this is a practice here in Bahrain. Most of them will send you a message, either follow up, like, okay, well, let's get your feedback. They will
Definitely.
even put like emojis,
Definitely.
you know, try to express your feeling. All right. So, guys, it's important that your front desk, like our business expert, business coach has told us, the people that are getting in contact with your customers should really be, I mean, in
Top
good
notch.
relationship, top notch. They should be professional in it, because that's what will keep the customers coming again. And I think that's what will make a customer tell another person about your business.
Exactly. That's one point
That's
you're
right.
raising.
Yeah.
We are getting customers by someone bought from you,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
spread the news,
Yeah.
ear to mouth. Yeah.
All right. That's great. That's great.
And also for like startup, I just want to like throw this for the startup businesses.
Okay.
You need to develop your database. It's very important. For example, for me, where I change the oil of my car, I discovered every time I go to change the oil, I will be the one to go and change the oil. The guy will never call me like
To say your
Yes,
oil is
yes,
due to
yes,
be changed.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think that's a good strategy they have there. Yeah.
I throw him this point. I say, if I'm always calling you, it means other clients are calling you. What you can do is try to
Track
have
it down.
a phone number, like a book.
Yeah.
All your customers, you write
When
them
you
down.
filled and when you think that
Yeah,
oh
if
yeah
you
will be
change
due.
and you gave him a sticker like
Yeah.
5,000 kilometers, You try to have an approximate. After 2 months, 3 months, you can call him. Oh, your oil is ready to be changed. Are you okay with it now?
Wow.
Like that.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, you
and
know,
I think that's where
database.
many people are lacking. If
Yes,
someone,
yeah.
and you
Especially
get,
for
you
small
get that
businesses.
information for free.
Yeah, for
And guys, you're having it now, so it is a good thing. Especially this is when you're rendering service that people need to come back for.
especially when you are at the startup level of your business. Yeah, you need
and
to.
I think it shows a kind of responsibility. The customer feels like he cares about
Exactly,
you, the well-being of
exactly.
whatever he's attending to for me. That's really amazing. Okay, I'm gonna move to our president here. Now I want to shift from your position as a president. I understand you are a senior health and safety officer. What does that first of all means?
It's something also I engaged when I first traveled in 2012. That's when I left Cameroon, November 2012.
To Bahrain?
No, to Qatar.
All right.
Yeah, that's where I started live, and then
Okay, before moving here. All right. All right.
So before I get to your question, living Cameroon, as I earlier mentioned, I was a graduate from ENS. Bahrain.
Okay.
So I hold a Pet 1 in economics, and
Wow.
trained teacher.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
moving to Qatar, I think there were no teaching opportunities, especially from where we are coming from.
Okay.
And after struggling for a few months, somebody came to me and said, there is something known as health and safety. So the first thing I did was I went on research. What is it all about? Health and safety exists everywhere. Everywhere. Transport, real estate, construction, manufacturing, navy, and all that.
Yeah.
What is it all about? It's just about, risk assessing a particular thing. For example, I want to put up a structure here. I will start by doing what they call the risk assessment.
Yes.
What are the equipments I'm going to have, the workers I'm going to have, the qualification and everything. Because if you don't risk assess, you risk losing. Because if in case you start up and something goes wrong, definitely you lose everything.
That's true.
So if I would take you to where I'm specialized in the construction, it's all about starting up in anything, even in business. Different departments have what they play and start up and what they do during when the project is running and at the end.
Okay.
So what we do, we risk assess and put up what they call control measures. If a worker was to say walk 5 meters above the ground, what are the necessary things you have to put in place to make sure that worker gets up there
and comes back
safe?
All right.
Now we are here. What we ensure, especially when we're in a country where we have a lot of expatriates, people have left thousands of kilometers away from their various homes and they've come here. How are we ensuring that these workers who have kids, who have wives, who have parents, execute their jobs and get back to their families? That is our core area of concentration.
All right, I get it. Okay. All right, so guys, so then we know what health and safety is. I for one, I have a NABOJ certificate in health and safety.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually did that during this corona time. I was trying to change my field, but the salary was not encouraging, and I was like, okay, just stay back there. All right. So this is a senior officer in this domain. So if someone was to pick or like want to develop a career in health and safety occupation, what are the basic you want to recommend to that person?
First of all, there is what is known as the first basic certificate. They call it IOSH. I think it's definitely getting out of the market because the level has stepped up.
All right.
And just like you said, the NABOJ also, having the NABOJ back in 2012
was valuable.
And we were talking about then in Qatar, we were talking about a salary in BD of not less than 700 BD.
Wow.
Just with the NABOJ.
Yes, just
and now it's just about 250.
250, 300. That's the market price now. And then what we have the diploma. So what normally you start off with is the NABOJ, where that's a basic and the entry level. And I will equate that NABOJ to an advanced level certificate.
Okay.
Because after that, now, just to get back to your question, When the person approached me, that's what I did, the Nebosh. Now, what next? I said, after Nebosh, what is the next certificate that gets you a little bit, or was a diploma?
Yes.
And the diploma is an equivalent to a first degree.
Oh.
I'm saying this because this is a British standard.
Okay.
Why? Because with the diploma, you can apply for a master's program.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So before you go on, the diploma, can someone with an advanced level like a Cameroonian or with a high school certificate go into the diploma directly if you want to pick up a profession in health and safety?
Definitely. If you're strong enough, you can get into it.
Okay.
Without passing
So
through
you don't need to
Nebosh.
start from the Nebosh or IOSH.
No.
Okay.
You just have to go directly there. And then if you're practicing, because all along what I've accumulated was I was doing it while working.
Okay.
Then once you acquire that one, you can as well apply for your master's program. And we've come to an age or an era where gone as those days where you have to carry your bags and enter the classroom full time. There's a lot now available where you can walk and study.
Yes, that's right. That's right. The materials are out there.
They're out there.
All right, guys. So that is it. If you're thinking of becoming a health and safety officer, or in any field, like he rightly said, you could be a health and safety officer in a food manufacturing company, in a medical field.
And then
yes, please.
Again, you have the certificate.
Yes.
Don't think it's useless.
Okay.
Because in some of the academic institutions,
Knowledge is never useless, by the way.
In some of the academic institutions, especially if it's a British institution, you may be given an additional role as a lead safety officer in the school.
That's right.
Because of your certificate.
I need to add it now to my CV.
Yeah, you are supposed to put it there.
Yes, I need to add it there. All right, that's a great one there. Okay, so guys, that was it. And do you think that this occupation has a good prospect in the future?
Okay, so this is what I tell people who come to me now. For those of our viewers who are in the Gulf region, see, health and safety, like you said, the market price, what do you have? If we're in the UK or in Canada, you earn more. Yeah, because there it is more valuable.
Yes.
And it sells.
Yes.
So this is what I advise people. If you're here in the Gulf, start up.
Yeah.
And if you have plans to travel, why not do it? Yes, why not do it?
I think we are going to have a podcast on that, educating people, because we're going to go that there's a lot of topics we've got to talk, because I realize, especially Africans, when they travel, they just stay where they are. They want to keep the same job that they came in and were doing, and there is no growth. That is like I said, I have no boys, but this is a guy with degree in BSc and a bachelor degree in biology. But I decided to I want to look broad. I'm also a coffee maker. I can make coffee. I can make different drinks and come up with recipes.
I have a friend who is in, the US now. He's a laboratory technician. He was working in one of the universities here. That guy had an ambition to go and do masters in computer science. This is one lesson I got from him.
Okay.
The more tools you have in your toolbox, the better.
The better for you.
I get it.
That's the message.
You can use anyone at any time.
Yes. So he's there. I think he's just running up with his masters in computer science.
Yeah.
He's a medical laboratory technician.
You see?
Now he has two tools, right?
That's right.
If you don't pick it here, I pick it there.
Yes. That's it. So guys, you don't want to sit there and just be the good waiter that you are, or the good whatever you are. Get these skills, add them up. The market is not always the same. Like the president said, in the UK you have a market that is much different than what you have now. So check around and look around, and I will be very clear. Many of us know we are not going to stay here forever.
Definitely.
For sure.
So you know why you will not stay here, because you might not have a passport for your kids.
That's it.
That's it. You might need to, or you will need to pay your school fees every year. Every month. Not year. Every month till they get to university or wherever. But we know that in Europe or wherever, you're having it there. Or probably you want to go back home. These skills will also help you establish better stuff for yourself.
Definitely.
So let's get better skills out there. All right. Before we get back to the president, I'm gonna have this last question with you, Mr. Stanley.
Okay.
And it is still on business. All right.
Sure.
So I am at business, and I am moving on a very good front and good face, and my business is doing well. What do I need to do to keep my business at that stage it is, or to avoid falling back as a business coach?
First of all, you don't need to work to keep your business at that
the same
stage.
stage. All right.
Always work to take your business a step ahead.
Okay.
How do you do it? You need to you re-inject. For example, the profit you have made,
Yeah.
and you want to expand your business, you need to re-inject that profit
Okay.
into the business. You need the good people around you.
All right.
You need the good people in all the departments, in the accounting department, in the HR department, in the sales department.
Yeah.
Everybody is important for your business to always move ahead. Always make sure your departments are,
Okay.
you always have top-notch people.
Okay.
Yes, those are
All
some
right.
of the things you need
Good.
to
So it means we should get people that are skillful, people that know what they are doing on the
Definitely.
different departments which they
Definitely.
are.
And there's one thing also, which is you, the owner of the business. I think we had this discussion away from the cameras.
Okay,
Yes.
offline.
How do you keep those people you bring in matters?
Yes.
As the owner of the company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see, it's all about mindset. The mindset you have, the conception you have about your business. You don't want to be that boss who is sitting somewhere in heaven and
Okay.
giving orders.
Okay.
You need to come down to the ground. You need to know what is happening at the ground level of your
Your
business.
business.
As he rightly said offline, I was very impressed sharing
Yeah.
how
way your
the owner,
business works,
how the business, the field in which I work, how the
Okay.
business, how the
Yeah.
business owner operates his business. He's that type of person who will come right to the down floor to even the cleaner and talk to him, and you will not know he's the owner. So you need to bridge that
to take away that
cut
bridge
that
between you being the owner
boss
things like
and
that. So like
common
people should
employee.
stop being this bossy aspect.
Exactly.
You just want to boss around every time you come. People need to like be alert and
Exactly.
things like that.
If you want to
Because
take your
people
business,
can pretend.
That's
I understand. That's
definitely-
one thing with these bosses. You know, when you're bossing around, if you come, I'll pretend to be a good guy.
Exactly.
I'll try to do things right.
Yeah.
But
like for us, I don't need my boss to be on my head to do the job.
Yeah.
Because I know already he's someone who will trust me in
Yes,
what I'm doing.
yes.
Because he know I know
Yes.
I have like a cordial relationship
That's
with him.
good.
It's not like he will come and shout.
He doesn't
with me.
just come around to bully and all
Yes,
those things.
that's it.
I mean, Mr. Businessman.
And he doesn't sit upstairs and give instruction.
Okay.
He come down to the level, he asks you, is it okay what
Yeah,
you're doing?
yeah.
Do you need something like that? He don't need
Alright.
someone to tell him, oh, for example, Stalin need this. No. He will call me personally. He will send me a text. Are you okay? Do you need something?
Okay.
If I did a mistake with something, he will ask me,
Okay.
what happened? He need
Wow.
to get it corrected.
Wow.
If I do for the second time, not acceptable, you need to correct it. I will not.
And that's because
Yeah.
he's there. Imagine he's not there. You might deliver to the customer,
Yeah.
and then those faults are being identified by the
by
customer.
the customer.
All right. So I mean, if you are venturing to get into a business, what we are definitely saying is that be a leader. Don't be a boss. Be
Exactly.
right there
Yeah,
at
exactly.
the forefront of your business, especially if you are growing or even if you have grown, because great business has also fallen. Many
Exactly.
businesses that have been successful have fallen.
Who are those making the strength of a business?
The workers.
Human beings, the workers. Yeah.
I think that is important. People need to learn to treat their workers very well.
Definitely.
Well, we are going to get that. Today we are just like scratching on all these things because now that I have him, I want to explore everything he has in him. I'll be moving back to the president and we are going to be wrapping up. And let's just have a 5-minute break and we are going to be back, gentlemen. Yeah. Let me also check.